Share my screen. There we go. So we spoke earlier about the heritage impetus and opportunities of Parliament Square, and also the public space strategy and potential to allow public access into the heart of the Parliament Square site. Those opportunities were really enabled by needs for the state government in terms of accommodation for state departments, and also expansion of parliamentary services directly connected to Parliament House. So the Salamanca Building was to be a new facility accommodating 16,275 square metres of net lettable area for the state of Tasmania. And then the Tasman Hotel was an opportunity for the first luxury collection hotel with Marriott to be delivered through the heritage buildings that really arose through the development of the site over time. And this is a project that started in around 2009 and ran through to the end of 2021. So the workplace building is a very carefully detailed and arranged building that seeks to deliver on that primary need for quality accommodation connected to Parliament House. So the entry is from Salamanca Place, and the approach there, as part of the urban strategy and relating to the heritage fabric, was to articulate the building forms and to lift the section of building above the main entry, so that could have transparency through the lobby space, have a clear arrival, and as mentioned earlier, pull the structure away from St Mary's Wall. And then the building has a quality and high-performing facade envelope, which we believe is the first fully unitized, fully shop-drawn curtain wall system on a commercial building in Hobart, and that combines terracotta facade with glazed systems that really look at the quality of an opportunity for pre-finished materials that have a scale and character to them that can then sit comfortably with the heritage fabric. Here we see the lobby space and the revealing of St Mary's Wall just to the left, with a sunken garden that brings natural light down into the lower levels of the accommodation underneath the ground floor, and using the step section of the site. The Salamanca Building has a number of facilities at the ground level that are in the central zone connected to Parliament House, a function space and future retail tenancy spaces, with a central core for vertical circulation, and then that moves up to typical floor plate with cellular office spaces around the core, with open plan areas at the perimeter and workstations set back from the facade for good access, and then collaborative spaces, and an innovative facade solution which creates effectively a cavity between a timber blind and the double glazed facade system, and then heat is extracted, direct load is extracted from that cavity and expelled to the exterior, taking that load off the AC system generally. And then we see the refinement of that facade system with timber inlays to the mullions and a low sill height and quite a fine profile. This is on an executive floor where we see the timber blinds completely raised, and some of the joinery as part of the fit out that was also part of our commission. Collaborative spaces here, and then the link to Parliament House that needed to be a connection between the new building and the heritage fabric, but also resolve quite complex level changes and deliver accessible pathways between those different levels. And what we see here is access from the parliamentary facilities down to new committee rooms that incorporated local crafts, the work of local crafts people, so Tasmanian joiners and makers and Tasmanian timbers materials to create these really distinctive local spaces for the committee rooms, and then referencing the Tasmanian landscape through the perforations in the timber panels around those spaces. The building was met a 5-star Green Star office rating, which the Salamanca Building is now being completed for a few years, given the stage development, but we think that was the first at the time. And then there are end-of-trip facilities incorporated into the lower levels, and also bicycle parking within the public spaces. The hotel, as we've described, links through the heritage buildings and new additions around 3 street frontages of the site, and the opportunities for the hotel and its spaces were really being explored and unveiled as the new Salamanca building came to completion. So there was a great complexity to the staging of the project, but also a real sense of discovery through the life of the project, and that allowed for the understanding of what spaces could be used for, but also material that could be reused in elements of the buildings. I should have mentioned that the Salamanca building in its podium reused sandstone from a former PABX building that was on the site. So spaces such as this were transformed into dining spaces for the hotel. The bar and all-day dining spaces and the Mary Mary bar arranged on the ground level. This is the entry lobby space for the hotel. So those activity functions positioned at the plaza level. This is the arcade links through to Parliament Square that we've talked about previously, and then the access into the hotel as a more personal and intimate experience to the right-hand side. Then the combination of revealed heritage items and elements that have been retained to accommodate the all-day dining functions, and then sunken gardens going down to trace the St Mary's wall through the site and bring light down into lower levels. The vertical circulation of the hotel is more distributed and very responsive to the heritage fabric, and as Alan mentioned, to where stairs were located previously, but also the cellular nature of the heritage fabric lent itself to a hotel in a way that it was much more suited than, say, a commercial function within those buildings. Here we see the stair as it projects out from the built form and gives, this has a great level of transparency, but provides opportunity to look back to the heritage fabric as well as out. And then the sort of found elements.
Can you
yes.
hear? You've got the bell just went 9 minutes. If you wanted to, fine. If you want to go through, keep going through. But we won't have questions.
Yep, just finishing just here. So a range of heritage suites, and then the composition overall. So thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
I guess I was just interested, a 12-year project, just how the staging of that was you know, an important part of the project and how it might have changed the process and the relationship with the client over 12 years.
Yeah, there has been certainly a evolution at the client level as well, and the project is now owned by Spirit Super, which is
Project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3,000 just stop chance.
Thank you.